We interrupt your regularly scheduled program to bring you another episode of We Can Help with Dave and Woody, already in progress.
Dave, today is my all-time favorite day of the year.
Daylight savings?
Oh, it's not like it started today. Daylight. Well, it is daylight, is it? Yes.
I don't know. I don't
Yes,
know.
it's savings time right now. So
I can't keep up
the
with it.
winter is standard time. The rest of the year is daylight saving. No, and it's not because it's my son's birthday. No, sorry,
Is
son.
it?
Yeah, but sorry, it's
Is it
not.
his birthday today?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Wow.
So, he won't listen to old
And he's
men.
21 now.
No, that was last year.
Okay.
That was last year. So let's
Happy
not give
birthday.
away his birthday and his social security number and his middle
Well, that's
name
okay.
on here. So we just get
Your mother's maiden name.
right. Exactly.
All right. What do you got? Why is this your
Well,
big
I saw, you know what day it is today because you posted it on the the Soch channel
on X, where you can follow us at Dave and Woody Pod on X?
Right. Or you can listen to us on YouTube if you subscribe down that corner. But more importantly, Dave announced to the world that today is, and did I get this right? National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day?
It is. I didn't know this was such a big, I mean, who doesn't like a chocolate chip cookie? But I mean,
well, there are good and bad chocolate chip cookies, and we can discuss that in a bit. But if I have one downfall, it's not liquor or beer, it's chocolate, it's cookies. I can't say no to a cookie.
You always get your hands in the cookie jar, huh?
Jar, yeah. We actually had a literal cookie jar when I was a kid. In fact, when my mom passed, they asked me, is there anything no, is there anything in particular you want, from her belongings? I said, no, but I noticed the cookie jar last time I was there, so I'll take the cookie jar. So I now have my childhood cookie jar.
Can you describe it?
Yeah, I don't know how it's about, I don't know, 12 inches tall, and it looks like, I guess if I had to describe it, it looks like one of those old time wood stoves.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of black with sides on it, puffed out in the middle, and it's got like a little fire in the middle, and it's got and it's ceramic and everything like that. So yeah, that's I just can't say no to cookies, and especially my favorite all-time cookies is snickerdoodle. But as far as chocolate chip cookies go, one thing, well, I can't stand it if it has nuts, right? Especially walnuts, because then I can't really eat it because I'm allergic to tree nuts, right? Yeah. Especially walnuts. So
what do you do about all those trees behind you? I mean, that's
those aren't walnut trees. I don't think.
Okay.
They look more like a sassafras tree.
Oaks.
Yeah. I don't know what they are.
We planted them. I mean, come on.
But here, I like a chocolate chip. Yeah. So what's your favorite type of chocolate chip cookie, though?
Well, I don't know that. So Toll House, Nestlé's Toll House. I mean, you got to go the old standard. We used to make them as kids, and of course now, remember, you can buy the cookie dough at the freezer compartment, and you just cut. I went to someone's house one time, and they invited us over for this fancy dinner, and she turns around twice, and she's cutting these things off of the to make cookies, and she makes fresh cookies, and they were like, "Oh, this is the greatest thing that she ever does." She always makes fresh cookies. I'm like, she's not making fresh cookies; she's cutting them off a log. But it makes the house smell good, and they're ready that way, like in 30 minutes. So you could do it right on the heels of dinner.
You do that when you're selling your house, right?
You cook bread or cookies. Right, you don't want to go number 2 when you're trying to sell this. I learned that the hard way. I know there's something about when you're showing the house, I just can't put my finger on it. Anyway, so I went to Publix today. You'll appreciate this, and every morning at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, I start my day with what's today's national days.
Okay.
And of course, our what do you call her? Our executive assistant spiels off a bunch. And I said, I'm going to go to Publix. I'm going to get some lunch stuff for me today. And I'm going to pick up some chocolate chip cookies for the show because I'm all about that.
Yeah, it wouldn't be for you. It'd just be for the
No.
show, and you'd share them with me, of course.
Well, yeah, but Publix has BOGO, buy one get one free, and they sell that little plastic. There's like 40 cookies in this thing for $5.99. So you buy one of those, you get another one free. And I'm like, well, that's a hell of a value. If I was a value shopper, I would definitely buy it. But I don't need 80 cookies, And
You
then I
got
went,
grandkids.
yeah, they won't make it. They wouldn't make it through the night. And then I go over to the bakery, and they've got these cookies about this big for $2.95, loaded with chocolate chips. And then I started the proposition that's one of them's $2.95. There's no value in that. I'm not buying
Right.
that.
No, that's more about convenience. But
Well,
here's
hold
my
on,
thing.
but I was afraid
Okay.
if I bought the one that I would eat it on the way home, and then I would not have it for the show.
And I thought you mean you turn around and go back and get another one.
Well, I mean, I'd be driven to, but so
no. Do you like a lot of chocolate chips in your chocolate chip cookie?
not particular. I don't like it overloaded. It's got to be
exactly.
a certain, yeah. And I've had them. What about those big heavy chips? You like the big thick?
No, that's stupid too. I like a limited amount of chocolate in my chocolate chip cookie. So
is it like 2-to-1 ratio? Like you like your liquor?
Well, like two Nestlé Toll House drops per bite, maybe is what I'd put that at. And I'm a Famous Amos cookie person. I buy the big bulk box of those things, little bags, the 2-ounce bags in each one, like you see in the machines, snack machines and things like that.
You pack them in your lunch or something?
Yeah, every day I pack one of those in my lunch. And that's my little treat for eating, on the cheap.
Like Woody did his homework, he can go out and play now or something.
Oh man, I tell you what, I think about those damn cookies leading up to lunchtime every time.
Well,
they make my lunch. Yes. So I'm a big advocate of today, and was
pleasantly surprised.
Yes, when you posted that. So, but the BOGO offer wasn't in line with National Chocolate Chip.
No, I went to the bakery, and the little girl, I was pondering that big cookie. Right. And I must have been standing there for 30 seconds or more. And she goes, "Sir, do you need some help?" And I went, "Well," I said, today's National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day. She goes, "No, we didn't know that." And you would think of all people, Publix would be, marketing
all over stuff like that. Yeah,
but they had no clue.
No,
apparently it's not where shopping is a pleasure like it used to be.
Now, is that something approved by Congress, or is this something the Cookie Pact came up with?
Well,
big cookie.
Big cookie, the cookie industrial complex. Let's see if there's some insight here. Alexa, what is the origin of National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day?
National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day honors the 1937 invention by Ruth Graves Wakefield at the Toll House Inn in Whitman, Massachusetts, where she tossed chopped semi-sweet chocolate into her butter drop dough. The accidental-looking tweak caught guests' attention, spread nationwide, and by 1939, Nestle licensed the recipe, turning it into a beloved American treat.
How did it become a national day? Was it an act of Congress or a lobby group or what?
National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day isn't backed by Congress or a lobby. It evolved organically as social media users celebrated the 1937 invention, turning a regional favorite into a nationwide tradition.
Well, there you go.
Isn't it funny? Toll House is an actual place.
Yeah, I wonder if that was, in the old days like that, they had toll roads. Where she say it was in Massachusetts?
Dave. They still have toll roads today.
Alexa, the original Toll House where the chocolate chip cookie came from, was it a toll house?
No, the original Toll House Inn wasn't a toll house at all.
It was an inn.
It was built in 1817 as a Cape Cod-style cottage and later turned into an inn by Ruth and Kenneth Wakefield in 1930. The Toll House name was just a marketing gimmick. Want to hear more about how Ruth Wakefield's cookies became so famous nationwide?
No,
I think we're done. Thank you.
It'd be funny if it was like a bordello or something like that.
Strip tease, and they used them as pasties.
It was on a toll road.
like those things you see out there today.
Oh, well, that's interesting.
Well,
So
there you go.
just one of those things. The common man invented this as a national day, not Congress or anybody else. So I guess you could say it's worldwide then, since it's not a Congress thing. It's the people have spoken. So
Well, yeah. I mean, the chocolate chip cookie lovers. I mean, I don't, unless you're allergic to chocolate chip, I don't know.
Well,
Anyway,
considering your reluctance to, or your lack of I can't come up with the word. I'm sorry. You didn't think you could make it home with the cookie in your car. We better get to the next thing I just saw on your screen. What are you drinking, Dave?
well, Woody, thanks for asking. What am I drinking? Well,
Before it's gone.
yeah, but before it all melts away, look at that lovely
Look at
libation.
You went with small ice.
My refrigerator, yeah, it's not a big ball.
Very airy ice too.
Yeah, I learned that happens because the ice freezes from the top down. That the whole science thing escapes me.
It's a pain in the butt to try and make the solid ice. I'll tell you that. It's like a 4-day recipe or something like that. So I'm like, no, I can take a little water on my
so
drink.
That's a good point. That's too much work, right?
Yes.
So the whole point of this segment, what am I drinking, is I'm not lazy, but I don't like to spend a lot of money on superfluous ingredients, and I don't like to spend a lot of time on doing things. I don't want to have a bar I'm not looking to create a bar. You know what I mean? I'll go to a place and they can get all the different ingredients. I just want to have the straight up stuff.
Well, that's why I hate when they say put a zest in it. Like, I'm going to go buy an orange, peel off one little strip and put it on my drink. And then I've got a whole orange just sitting there going to waste.
Yeah, growing like penicillin or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what we're going to do in this segment is we're going to feature a distillery or a brand for the month. And it's August, so it's hot as Hades. Right now it's 89 degrees and partly sunny out here in where I live, which is kind of actually cool today, but it's August. So we're still in summer, and I wanted a summery, refreshing drink. So today's drink is Bourbon Lemonade, and we're featuring the Bulleit Bourbon Frontier Whiskey, and this is as simple as it gets. Last week, you may remember I did Woody's favorite, the Revolver, and that included some bourbon made by Bulleit. And the key ingredient for Bulleit is it is a high rye mash bill. And so you get a little bit of a spicy, kind of spicy kick to it. So this doesn't get any easier. It's 1.3 ounces of Bulleit bourbon, the 90 proof right off the shelf. It's 4 ounces of lemonade. And I'm using, we have an instant lemonade that we use right here in the house. It's very tasty. And you can choose to add a slice of lemon if you want. But like Woody says, I don't want to go out and buy a lemon just to have it around for one slice. So I like it easy peasy. And what you basically do is you serve on the rocks or blend with ice in a rocks glass and garnish with a lemon slice. So it's 1.1 1/3 ounce. You can get a little creative that if you want to with Bulleit bourbon. 4 ounces of lemonade over ice in a rocks glass, and you got bourbon lemonade.
Easy peasy. You're drunk by 8 o'clock.
Yeah, and it's going down really nice. I mean, it's cool, refreshing, very tasty.
You'd be sitting on the back porch in your straw hat and cane,
hayseed or corncob pipe.
Yeah, you're right. And talking to the deer, drinking your bourbon lemonade
with a little banjo.
What's the one they do for the Kentucky Derby? Mint juleps.
Mint juleps.
Have you ever had those?
Yeah, I don't know they're that great, are they?
I'm not a big fan of the mint family of flavors.
But see, there's another thing you got to go out and get is mint. I mean,
yeah,
unless you're growing it. I think my sister grows mint in her patio. I'm like, I'm not doing that.
I think it's one of those things I could actually grow too. Is mint, because it apparently just takes off and you can't stop it, kind of thing.
So for our listeners, if you have an easy peasy cocktail that really doesn't take a lot of invention, we're going to stay with Bulleit bourbon. I got a neat one coming up next week. I guess I can give it. Yeah, it's called a BLT.
Got bacon in it and lettuce and tomato.
It's tricky. That's what I
Yeah,
thought
no.
first. But
Dave learned at lunchtime that if he dips his BLT into his bourbon, it tastes pretty good.
yeah, but it's
That's
called a
interesting.
BLT, and we'll get to that next week. And it's another cool, refreshing, great summertime, easy peasy drink to mix. And I think you'll like
I
it
could
because
do
you.
with another one. I'm not a big lemonade fan, and so
Mm.
I tried limeade once with
Well,
bourbon,
so
and I didn't
just
like
hold
it.
yourself. You can't drink for a week. You're gonna love this BLT.
All right,
I,
all
I
right.
think it's
Well,
right
I'll
up your
stay
alley.
off the hooch for a week then.
Well, that's probably not a
Well,
realistic expectation.
there's racing this weekend,
Mm.
so
Okay, so that's my segment. What am I drinking? And speaking of racing, I knew last week you had mentioned that you were off. So what did you end up doing? What did you do
we
Sunday or Saturday?
well though. So anyhow, I turned so about 3 in the afternoon after I'm done with my whatever chores I have that I try to get done on weekends, like the yard and stuff. I turned on the TV, and when you turn on one of the streaming services, right, the one I have my local channels on, kind of highlights what's on,
Yeah,
kind of, and the sports row was had championship lacrosse, WNBA, and I was going to send you a picture and be like, these are my choices.
this will make a lead a man to drink right here.
Right, exactly. But luckily there was a golf tournament on. So I will the problem is it's leading up to the FedEx Cup Championship. So the only real people in the tournament, these last two tournaments, are those trying to make the playoffs, right? Or the FedEx Cup. It's playoffs, whatever you
FedEx
want to
is the
call it.
one that's out there, and they all go crazy on that one hole.
No, that's Waste Management out in Phoenix on
No,
the 17th, 16th, I think it
16.
is. Yeah. And no, so like all sports, they tried to create a playoff type format to bring some excitement to the end of
Sure.
season. And so golf created this thing called the FedEx Cup, and basically the top 70 players on the tour compete. Then they whittle the field down to 70. And I don't even know how many weeks it is, 3 or 4 tournaments for the FedEx Cup. And of course, it's buku dollars and all that. So the top 70 will play in it. So last week and this week will only be those who are essentially trying to um, get into the top 70. And so the top players aren't even there. So the best, um, who was there? Xander Shoffley, I think his name is, and Ricky Fowler, you probably know.
Oh yeah, yeah. Ricky
But
are tight.
yeah, and he showed some promise on Saturday. But so it was really a bunch of and a first time winner came out of it. I forget his name now, some Norwegian guy, and I can't pronounce his name anyhow. Oh, that was funny because I thought they spelled his name. He had an O in his name, but they put the zero marker through it.
Hmm.
Why do they do that?
It maybe the show he got an eagle. I don't know.
I'm like, why
They
do
didn't have an
they add
umlaut,
the
an
no,
umlaut
it
over
wasn't
it.
an umlaut or anything like that. No, it was the O with a line through it, and I'm guessing maybe that's an alphabetic letter up in
Isn't
Norway
that,
or
isn't
or
that
something.
Omicron? No, that's Psi.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I know size the trident, isn't it?
I don't know.
Anyhow, or phi is. I don't know which one is, but anyhow. So
Maybe it's just a typo.
that was my Saturday, and it was a very uneventful ending. I mean, the guy pretty much wrapped it up before everyone had finished, so there wasn't any last. So it was kind of boring, yes. But racing returns. I believe they're in Iowa this
Ooh,
weekend.
riveting
And
course.
well,
We're gonna race through the corn.
yes. Well, actually, they plant some corn outside that spells I think the Iowa Corn Growers Association sponsors the weekend.
Ah,
So, but I think a heat wave's coming across. So I hope they don't move the race to late night or something like that. Let the guys sweat a little. They wear cool suits now.
hey, I saw a clip of them running somewhere, and the lights went out. It was at night, and all of a sudden the power went out. What the heck happened? There's no headlights on those cars. What happens then?
I guess they all slow down.
Stay in your lane and like, oh crap.
I assume they have some sort of backup lighting to at least illuminate, the baseline of the track or something.
So it was on X, I follow the NASCAR.
Maybe it was a small track or something.
I follow the NASCAR feed, and you know how people will comment after someone posts that?
Yeah.
Well, remember the movie Airplane where the guy pulls the plug out of the tower?
Yeah. He tripped over it.
Well, someone had put the next frame was that weird looking guy's got the plug in his hand. Right. Yeah. It was actually pretty funny.
I always appreciative of the comment sections on anything. The people that have a real sense of humor. Not
that's
the ones who are screaming or belly aching.
Yeah, that's where the real entertainment comes in, is when someone,
But you got to get pretty deep sometimes to get to those anymore. It's it's filled with people who think they are funny, like me and you. Expanding onto something. But hey, listen, I got a here's something I found interesting on here. But
okay,
and I want to see if you fall in this category or not. But so. There's been a lot of data breaches and things of that nature. And out of that came this company that didn't use the data per se, but they analyzed 3.4 million people's personal identification numbers, the four-digit pins, right?
Yeah.
And out of 3.4 million, I didn't write down the percentage, but it's like 90% use 20 different PIN numbers.
In their bailiwick, they have access to 20 different PIN numbers?
No. So if you with 4 digits, right? I think there's 10,000. Ask our assistant. A 4-digit PIN. How many combinations are there?
Alexa, if I use a 4-digit PIN, how many different combinations does that generate?
Isn't that 2 to the 4th or something?
A 4-digit PIN can generate 10,000 different combinations, from 0000 to 9,000.
Yeah, we get that. Oh, yeah, we could have done that math. Didn't even think about that.
I think it's, how do you do that? 10 times 9 times 8 times
10 to the 4th, I believe is how you do that one.
I had that.
And that's why you add 4 zeros and you get, that's the quick 10 to any power. You add the zeros. So
thanks, Steve Lucas.
Yes, had I thought about it, maybe I would have come up with that. So anyhow, so there's 10,000 combinations, but the majority of people, like over 80% of the people, use only 20. There's only 20 combinations people primarily use out of the 10,000.
Are they the same 20?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So like the number, a very common one is 0000. Someone who puts zero thought into their PIN number uses 4 zeros. So of the 10,000 combinations, there's primarily 20 of those combinations that like 80% of the 3.4 million people.
To write an algorithm to hack something is probably not that tough.
Not if you go through those 20 first. Yeah. So what I'd like to know, what's your PIN number? And I'll tell you if it's in this sub 20.
Well, you're assuming
this is for science, Dave. Come on.
But just the 4-digit number. Right. This is not alphanumeric. This is just numeric.
Just for like you do when you go to the bank or
a PIN
what
number.
else?
Okay.
What else is a PIN number these days? I don't even know.
Well, so to your point, what are the ramifications? You can use 0 through 10, right?
Or 9.
0 through 9.
Yeah. So
well,
obviously
my PIN, I don't duplicate. So I'll share with you.
That is one thing that keeps you out of trouble.
Yeah, I don't duplicate. And, well, there's one succession. So I don't have like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, that's like that and quad any number are the popular ones.
And right? I have no zeros.
Oh, okay.
You could probably start dialing into the PIN right away.
Well, there's that guy. There's that new, not hypnotist, but mind reader guy that's going around. I forget his name now. Pearl. The
guy that was supposed to do the news.
White House correspondence. Yeah, yeah. I've seen him on a couple shows. It's amazing. He says it's not a trick, but it is a trick, but it's just amazing to me. But he could figure, based on what you're describing right now, I bet you he could give you your PIN number. So if you're listening, Pearl Heisman or whatever your name was, I forget.
Well, once you start putting alphanumeric,
well, that increases it tremendously, right? Because that's 36 to the power of how many digits?
Yeah,
or how many are in it? So
yeah, and then add symbols. That's why.
Right. But as far as PIN numbers go, I thought that was interesting that most of us in this world, it falls into 20 different combinations. So some of the ones that I don't know the reason why. Well, I guess like 2580 is
oh my God, that's my PIN. How did you know that?
You better change it, because isn't that the center of, I don't see it in the list, but that's the center of the keypad, right? 2580. So I think that was a popular one. And then I forget what's this, when a word is spelled the same backwards and forwards.
Oh,
what's that called?
Alexa, what is a word when spelled forwards and backwards called?
It's the same.
That's called a palindrome, a word that reads the same backward as forward, like madam or race car.
Yeah. Okay.
Isn't it funny that you can be a madam and take it frontwards and backwards?
Yes. Sure.
Yeah. Wait, just like the profession itself has always been about.
A madam works both ways. Flexibility. All right, Alexa, stop.
They get more money that way. Anyhow. So those numbers are popular, and then of course repeating 2-digit patterns. So anyhow, if you got any of that stuff, you might want to change your PIN. Is what I'm trying to tell people.
Well, that's interesting. I think it's because we're lazy.
Yeah, I do too. Or we fear forgetting the number, so we use.
So we're saying when you
see.
So, well, I don't know if I want to admit to this, but I just when you're a teacher at school, I guess it's the same way with you. Probably you have an IT department that probably every 6 months or some rotating factor, they send out a message, time to change your PIN number.
Yeah.
And
your password, not your PIN number.
Yeah, your password, whatever. That's a pain in the butt.
They've upped the game at my office, and now you got to use
some Google generated one.
Well, 15 characters, and it's got to have this and that in it, and it's like, I spend half my morning logging in. It's ridiculous. Build hunt and peck.
Then if you push the remember me thing, it's like
they've disabled that
hacker's
now.
dream.
Yes, they've disabled that now. They did give us a password manager, and I've used a personal password manager probably for 15 years now.
I just use Post-it notes and I stick them all over line.
you put them under the keypad, right? Because no one will look there.
They're in my pencil drawer.
Yep, the top drawer.
It says Dave's passwords.
You even labeled it for them, right? You said this account. This account.
This is a weird looking number. What do I do with this? Oh, it's a password.
I will say, when my mother passed, back to that again, she had a notebook of all her passwords.
Yeah, I've seen that. So people on their phone and stuff.
Yeah, I was able to go through and figure out her certain accounts and everything like that. So, but anyhow, you got anything else going on today?
Yeah. So some of you may remember I'm in the job search world.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know if I'm gonna go into what I told you about earlier, but I thought it's interesting. I shared with someone not too long ago that I've only had, I think in my whole career, I've only been an employee twice. I was a statutory employee once.
Whoa.
That's just
okay.
That's just a tax ID basically that says you're self-employed, but you can do some things with your taxes.
Self-employed.
Yeah. So, but I was a bag boy at Publix when I was 15.
You're going back that far.
That's as far back. And then I was recently a teacher,
right?
Where I had to apply and go through interview process and get hired to be a teacher. So those are the 2 times in my life that I had to go through this hiring process and be an employee. The rest of the time I've been pretty much self-employed all my life, or someone called me and said, come work with us. And so
Like on a temporary basis kind of
Well,
thing.
like a buddy would call me and say, "Hey, listen, what are you doing?"
Consultant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I started this, no craziness, but I started this rigmarole where you apply for jobs on platforms like Indeed or LinkedIn or whatever these things are, and it's just
Painful.
it's painful, and it's just really not fair. I hate that word, but it's not fair to the individual because they're not getting the best shot to demonstrate who they are and what they are. They're doing is being judged by keywords, by this algorithm.
I was because I went through that in 2018, and then I did it a little bit again in whatever that was 2 years ago, when I wanted to get out of that company I was with. And I'm frustrated. I'm equally frustrated by it in the sense that, if you don't, because everything is, call it AI, a filter, whatever. They all take your resume and pass it through a little computer algorithm that says, yeah, this guy's a good fit. This guy's not a good fit.
So let me tell you a real quick analog story about keyword scrutiny.
Right.
So years ago, I worked for Central Florida Investments. I told you stories about working for David Siegel, and I was a hiring person for some of our marketing people that worked at the phone room and also at the places where he gave away free tickets to go to a timeshare unit. So that I had applications on my desk, probably 50 to 100 applications every week dumped on my desk by the mail people. And so I had this system. If your resume was odd colored like pink or purple, or the envelope smelled or something, right off the bat, I didn't even open those. Those went right in the trash.
Oh, come on.
Well, I mean,
they're making an effort.
Initially, I opened everything. Then I just realized I got to have a system.
What if I put a chocolate chip cookie in my envelope? Would you open that one? If it smelled like chocolate chip cookies?
But anyway, I called those right away. And then the second group, I opened all the envelopes, and if it was in some weird font, like they used word art or something like that, then those went right in the trash. And so I had an analog system in the culling out process way before. This is in the 90s.
Yeah. So you were 80s. Eliminating those with imagination or any effort. You're just taking the people that just mailed it in, literally. Just mailed it in.
So, but to the point though, there lies a process that not unlike what we're seeing today, although it be a computer using the algorithm.
Yeah.
So what I did this past week is I asked ChatGPT. I said, I've been working with her. By the way, I assume it's a woman. I don't know. Maybe it's ill on my part, but I like to think these AI people are girls because I don't get a chance to talk to the ladies very much. But it sounds like a woman, but my wife gets me in trouble with that. Anyway, so I asked ChatGPT, look, I'm tired of this nonsense. I want to construct a short, concise, brief text message to 50 of my closest clients and tell them what I'm up to. And so it wrote out this really nice, I'm not begging for a job, just sharing with you what's happening in my life. And I would appreciate that you either put me in touch with somebody, whatever. So I sent that out to 50 people. It took me 30 minutes. And within 30 minutes, I had 30 replies, hearts, we're cheering for you. We're really encouraged for you. We're excited for you. And then I got a phone call that said, let's connect at 2:00 that afternoon to talk, to define kind of the role, what you're looking for. And then I had another lady that same afternoon said, let's get together for coffee on Friday morning. And so within 30 minutes time, I generated more activity than, now I don't have a job yet, but more activity, and I didn't get a job from the other thing.
You talk to potential employers.
And there's 50 people that are now kind of bird dogging for me too, that know me personally.
Right. And hey, they hear something. Yeah, they hear something that, and so to get there's all sorts of gamesmanship now to get through that initial filter, right? Like somebody early on, I remember this, they took the job description, they added it to the end of their resume, and then they changed the font to white so it didn't show up.
But
so
it
immediately got high marks and immediately right to the person's desk. Like, you need to talk to this person. They only discovered it when they went to print the resume out, and it was 4 pages long. And they're like, why is that? And then they figure the guy got busted. But to me, that's a plus, right?
Well, that's creative. I mean, that might be a guy we want to hire. I don't know. So anyway, so the point of this exercise was, I still believe, as a boomer and soon to be 63 years old, I still believe relationships are very important. And I think in the end, just to give you a point, here's exactly what's happened in all my career. I know someone that's got a problem. I present a solution, and that's what I was working on today. I've got a fellow of mine who was a friend, is a friend. He hired me as one of his leadership kind of board members, not for pay, but I volunteered my time to be someone to help him support his business and be a sounding board. And now he's big enough where he could hire somebody. And I said, "What's your problem? Where's your sticking point? What's your hot spot? What do you go to sleep at night worried about?" And he shared with me, and I said, "Give me a couple days to put a plan together, and I'll put a proposal. If you like it, let's move forward." So I just submitted the proposal today, and he said, "I'm on it."
All right.
So I have a project that's going to make part-time, very, very, very part-time, $18,000 to $36,000. It depends on how.
Look at Dave throwing numbers around like that.
I mean, but it's just a soup, like 2 hours a week, 2 to 3 hours a week I'm going to put into it. So, and he's a friend. I want to help him out, be successful. And
I hope it works out.
Yeah, I start Friday. Yeah. So I have a gig.
Oh, good luck. All right. Sounds good. Well, let's see. We got a couple minutes left, like 5 minutes left. And I had an interesting, so I play,
is this the balls?
No, too late for that now.
Oh, okay.
Plus,
I'm sorry.
What is well, it kind of is
it's really our show.
So I play a golf game on my phone, just to pass time occasionally or what have you. It's not addictive
on your free time, not while you're.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you're sitting in the doctor's office waiting, or sitting at red lights, or driving down the highway at 70 miles an hour and it's just straight away. It's the only times I tend to play the game on the phone.
Okay.
Yeah. Or watching a NASCAR race. You don't have to pay attention to every lap, kind of thing. Anyhow, I have a general rule that I won't pay for any games on my phone. I just don't think it's that important, kind of thing. So in lieu of that, most of these apps will have you watch advertisements.
Yeah.
And so, no two, well, we kind of get it on here, right? I'm sure the listeners get targeted advertising, right? That's what it's at now. They know the listeners' age range and
location.
Maybe and a little bit about you or who our audience generally is. And so they'll target the ads, and they're getting more and more specific, which I don't have a problem with that. In fact, I kind of like it. I don't have to listen to stuff that has nothing to do with me. But there was a span over the last 2 months where I got this drug commercial, and it's Xifaxan, I think is how you pronounce it. And it played, I mean, every single day I got 2 to 3, and I was getting it not only on there, but on YouTube. And it's just inundating me. And I was like, it got to the point that I'm thinking, well, maybe I got whatever this drug is for. I wasn't really paying attention.
Erectile dysfunction.
Yes, exactly. Now, and that's part of the problem with these drug commercials. They don't tell you what it's for. They just, hey, everybody's dancing and singing. Well, I must need that, kind of thing.
I want to live the good life.
Right. So
a 4-hour erection. Yeah. So go ahead.
So I just assumed that was kind of what it was, or whatever, something for weight loss, those GLP-1s now that are going around, all that. I just
everybody's all over that.
So finally, at some point, I'm sitting next to my wife, and that one of the commercial comes up. I said, "What is this Xifaxan drug for?" And she goes, "I don't know. What's it say it's for?" And I looked it up, and it's for hepatic encephalopathy. HE. And I'm like, I still doesn't. So anyhow,
Flat feet. What is
it? She goes, it's like a brain thing you get from a bad liver disease. I'm like, oh, maybe it is targeted at me.
For drinking and liver disease. Well,
So
yeah, go ahead.
It's used to reduce the risk of reoccurring episodes of this brain complication caused by liver disease. And so I'm like, oh, maybe, like I said, maybe it was targeted for me based on all the discussions we've had over the past few months.
I wonder what the demographic reveals for the NASCAR driver, NASCAR, fan.
Well,
I don't know.
It's funny. I still read Popular Mechanics. It's the only physical paper magazine
you get it delivered to your house?
Yes, I used to get it digitally, and I just enjoy it better paper wise. It's just something I do, but I do see that I am not part of the ad. The little ads they have in the back. Most of them are for like Asian brides and things like that nature. I'm like, really not in the market for that. Or the one ad that has been in there, I swear it's been in there since the 90s, has been a special, you put it in your cologne and it makes you more attractive to women.
Yeah.
It's so science-based, Dave. It's on there.
Pig endorphins or something like that.
I don't know what the hell it is, but it's been in there for 30, 40 years. And they must still be making money on it at this point. So who knows? But
well, that sounds I don't know. Well, it doesn't matter. It's just
anyhow, we're running out of time. Is there anything you want to squeeze in before we
I do want to give some programming notes, some housekeeping.
Sure.
For those of you who've been following us along. And I did want to mention a couple guys that I missed last week. Ron Rossi, for example, he was at the event last week. Peter.
I'm not going to help you. I know who you're talking about. I can't come up with the last name though.
I'm thinking of somebody else that his name is Pete Presco. Peter Presco. Good grief. Sorry, Pete.
Yeah.
Peter Presco was there, and he and I had a good time to connect and clearing some things up in my head. He's a great guy, Peter Presco.
Yeah,
I told him
he's pretty funny too. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, he's got a super dry wit, and you got to listen. If you're not listening to him, it'll go over your head. But he's just a super nice fella. Pete was there. Tommy O was in the room for a little while. He came in and had lunch. He had to go somewhere. Bill Burbage, Bill Burbage was in the room.
Bill Beveridge,
or as I like to call him, the guy that, something to do with the dryer.
I was witness to that
several times. Sleepwalky Bill, let's call it.
Yeah.
I don't know John's last time. We called him Nudes. John.
Oh, yes.
Terrible.
Noodles.
He's a Freemason, and he's big time Freemason now. John was there.
He was from to say he went to school with Pat Kelly. High school.
Nudes. Yeah. Scott Townsend was there. Alias Lane. It turns out his name is Lane. I didn't know that. Thinking real quick. I told you about Charles Bell. I don't want to miss anybody. I feel like we discredited some people for not saying their names.
Well, if they send us an email or comment, we'll throw their names in the next show.
Yeah, Jeff Borzowitz was with us that day. We'll talk about that later on. But anyway, speaking of Jeff Borzowitz, this kind of reminds me, I just want to put a plug in for this episode or this segment or this special that we'll have coming up soon called Life Loyal. And maybe if you're following us on X at Dave and Woody Pod, you'll see some of the promos that we're pushing out for Life Loyal. And that's where we're going to interview some Sigma Chi alumni like Woody and I that maybe have prospered a little bit more, a little less. I don't know, but it's not just about their financial
share their life experiences. Yes.
Yeah, but what did the Sigma Chi, what did the chapter do for them? Well, I mean, I'm sure parenting had much to do with their success. But were there some takeaways from being a Sigma Chi that they were able to take to their professional life and how they conducted their lives with their families and their businesses and how that worked out? So we want to interviews. So we're lining up some interviews as we speak. So be on the lookout for Life Loyal. That'll be a reoccurring theme from time to time. We'll keep doing What Am I Drinking, of course. We'll pick it up a little bit more. We got a couple more episodes with Bulleit Bourbon. Woody has got, we got to come up. We got some UCF news coming up.
I
UCF,
need to do a little research on that too.
Yeah. Well, they're putting the football stadium back together. What do they call that? The trampoline or something like that?
The bounce house.
The bounce house. Yeah. The bounce house has had
they're adding more suites to it or something, right?
Yeah. It's looking like a real deal.
Okay. Gone are the days of the lower Citrus Bowl. But
do you ever get picked on because UCF called themselves national champions? Any of your friends are like,
I ran with that as hard as I could, and they should have been at least in contention. I thought it was
a marketing genius ploy.
Well, I hate the playoffs. Speaking of playoffs, I hate the college football playoffs. I'd rather they go back to the bowls. Not only that, the bowl game thing, and let everybody vote on it. It's fun to argue about it for the next year.
That's what it's
about. Yeah.
So we got some UCF stuff coming up. We'll keep talking about some different things, and we're hopefully, as you follow along and share our story with other people that might want to tune in and listen to us, so you can find some likeness and so forth. We're having some fun, right, buddy?
Yeah.
My voice feels like I've gone up an octave. I used to be
because that's your issue when you're lying. So, or maybe you're lying about having fun.
I think it's the lemonade, the bourbon lemonade.
Ooh. Right. We're over time now.
We're over now, but I like going over. All right, so let's wrap this thing up. I get to find the button again. And we did this a little early, so thanks for doing that. And have a great rest of your week.
It's still light outside, so.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I guess that's it. Be sure to like and follow us and subscribe to YouTube at We Can Help with Dave and Woody. Listen wherever you check out your podcast at We Can Help with Dave and Woody, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, and follow us on X at Dave and Woody Pod. Peace out.
All right, man.
Later.